Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Nobody cares how much you know, until they know how much you care. Keep your eyes on the stars, and your feet on the ground. Far and away the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard, at work worth doing. If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. The only man who never makes a mistake is the man who never does anything. It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. It is only through labor, and painful effort, by grim energy and resolute courage, that we move on to better things. Never throughout history has a man, who lived a life of ease, left a name worth remembering. People ask the difference between a leader and a boss. The leader leads, and the boss drives. A vote is like a rifle, its usefulness depends upon the character of the user. When you are asked if you can do a job, tell them, "Certainly I can." Then get busy and find out how to do it. The best executive is one who has sense enough to pick good people to do what he wants done, and self-restraint enough to keep from meddling with them while they do it. Courtesy is as much a mark of a gentleman as courage. I took the Canal Zone, and let Congress debate, and while the debate goes on, the canal does also. The only time you really live fully is from 30 to 60. The young are slaves to dreams, the old servants of regrets. Only the middle-aged have all their five senses in the keeping of their wits. The government is us, we are the government, you and I. The boy who is going to make a great man must not make up his mind merely to overcome 1,000 obstacles, but to win in spite of 1,000 repulses and defeats. Don't hit at all if it is honorably possible to avoid hitting, but never hit soft. If there is not the war, you don't get the great general. If there is not a great occasion, you don't get a great statesman. If Lincoln had lived in a time of peace, no one would have known his name. We can have no 50-50 allegiance in this country. Either a man is an American and nothing else, or he is not an American at all. A man who is good enough to shed his blood for the country is good enough to be given a square deal afterwards. Character, in the long run, is the decisive factor in the life of an individual and of nations alike. I am a part of everything that I have read. I don't pity any man who does hard work worth doing. I admire him. I pity the creature who does not work, at whichever end of the social scale he may regard himself as being. I am only an average man, but, by George, I work harder at it than the average man. It behooves every man to remember that the work of the critic is of altogether secondary importance, and that, in the end, progress is accomplished by the man who does things. The reactionary is always willing to take a progressive attitude on any issue that is dead. Absence and death are the same, only that in death there is no suffering. Big jobs usually go to the men who prove their ability to outgrow small ones. The man who loves other countries as much as his own stands on a level with the man who loves other women as much as he loves his own wife. Obedience of the law is demanded, not asked as a favor. Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing, and the worst thing you can do is nothing. Far better is it to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy nor suffer much, because they live in a great twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. To educate a man in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society. Speak softly and carry a big stick, you will go far. No man is above the law and no man is below it, nor do we ask any man's permission when we ask him to obey it. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. A thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth more than a college education. With self-discipline most anything is possible. A man who has never gone to school may steal from a freight car, but if he has a university education, he may steal the whole railroad. Get action. Seize the moment. Man was never intended to become an oyster. Old age is like everything else. To make a success of it, you've got to start young. When you play, play hard. When you work, don't play at all. The unforgivable crime is soft hitting. Do not hit at all if it can be avoided, but never hit softly. Great thoughts speak only to the thoughtful mind, but great actions speak to all mankind. The things that will destroy America are prosperity at any price, peace at any price, safety first instead of duty first, the love of soft living, and the get-rich-quick theory of life. Order without liberty and liberty without order are equally destructive. When they call the roll in the Senate, the senators do not know whether to answer present or not guilty. I care not what others think of what I do, but I care very much about what I think of what I do. That is character. The first requisite of a good citizen in this republic of ours is that he shall be able and willing to pull his own weight. Every immigrant who comes here should be required within 5 years to learn English or leave the country. Every reform movement has a lunatic fringe. 9/10 of wisdom is being wise in time. Behind the ostensible government sits enthroned an invisible government owing no allegiance and acknowledging no responsibility to the people. The pacifist is as surely a traitor to his country and to humanity as is the most brutal wrongdoer.